Right now, there is a push to educate people living in their vehicles about their rights after a federal class action settlement set new rules for how the city is allowed to enforce its vehicle habitation ordinance. Welcome to the 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. CBS 8's Kelly Hassedall joins us live from Mission Bay with what she learned from attorneys today. Kelly.
That's right, and a Q&A session was held here at Mission Bay, but with the attorneys as well as people who are living in their vehicles. One woman told me this settlement means a lot to her because for a long time now, she says she's been living in constant fear of being ticketed or being towed. According to one of the attorneys on this case, she says that woman shouldn't have to worry anymore.
There's going to be a new training bulletin for police to follow, that they can't just target someone because they appear to be living in their vehicle. They have to have a suspicion of another crime. If it's a suspicion of a parking violation, they have to give them an opportunity to relocate.
And that was Menasche. She is the lead attorney on this case that she says really was groundbreaking in changing the way the city of San Diego and police deal with people living in their vehicles. She says the city must provide a space for people to park overnight, and if there isn't a space available, one of the safe parking lots, then they can't just ticket someone. So a lot of the 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. no parking signs you see around the city will be taken down. Also, the city is now required to expand that safe parking lot program and post on its website daily where space is available. So that was just some of what she shared with folks who showed up here today. One of the big things a lot of people wanted to know about was about past parking ticket forgiveness and fine forgiveness, which is part of this settlement. So she took their names and will be submitting them to the city to start the process rolling on that. You know, she says that's huge because some folks have racked up thousands in fines, which makes getting back on their feet even harder. I spoke to a woman who was out here today who says she became homeless about a year ago.
Living on the street, sleeping on a sidewalk, you don't ever think that it'll happen to you, and it does. I came from a good family, you know, always worked, always paid my taxes, and you just, things happen, you know.
And I spoke to another gentleman who says he works part-time security, and he says his vehicle was impounded, and so he's having a hard time getting to work. Now, as far as these new rules go, they don't take effect till toward the end of the year. A judge is expected to sign off on them in October. But in the meantime, I'm told police are not supposed to be ticketing or towing any vehicles or citing people just for living in their cars. Heather and Carlo.
Yeah, Kelly, you feel for the woman, especially who you had a chance to speak with and what she's up against. But on the other side of this, we have done stories of people who have complained about people parking in their neighborhoods right in front of their homes for more than a week, living out of their cars or their RVs. So does this settlement mean that people can park wherever they want for as long as they want?
You know, and technically the answer to that is no, but I can imagine that when people start to hear about this, that is going to be some of the fear that they might have. Now, I asked Menasche that same question, and she told me these are not criminals. She says these are people, some who are disabled, some who have been working their entire lives and simply fell on hard times and cannot afford the astronomical rent here in San Diego.
Looks like the pressure is going to be on the city to build those safe parking lots to get people in them. Otherwise, we're going to hear a lot about those complaints coming from people again. Kelly Hassedall reporting for us live. Thanks, Kelly.